Hello everyone, Artemu the Violet Wizard here, and today we're continuing Stardew Valley. Last time we had kind of a brief stream due to some things being a little out of my control. Hopefully things will be a bit better this time. And hopefully we're able to get a lot more of my plans done. Because this session is going to be fairly interesting, as we are going to be mainly focusing on getting our barn upgraded. First off, let's go check some of our mail right now. Hey kid, here's the recipe for a little treat my pappy used to make. Cook it slow. So got a cheese cauliflower recipe from Pam. I believe that's a reward for getting our friendship up with her. As completing that one quest definitely gave us some good friendship with her. Dear valued customer, thanks for visiting Pierre's. Enclose your cashback rewards program rebate. See you soon, Pierre. P.S. Sorry for the stock message, Hayden. Enjoy. So got a little bit of money back for investing a lot of money in Pierre's. I definitely appreciate that. Is that maple syrup? Is there anything we can make with that besides the bee house? I'm thinking that is pretty much it. But yeah, the last session was pretty good for a few reasons. Namely, we were able to get our first duck on the farm, which is going to be very helpful to us. Hopefully in this session, our little ducky will be fully grown and we'll get to reap the benefits of them being with us. What's also nice is that I managed to find the jewels that we need to complete one of the objectives that we are going to be doing this day, which is to get this mission, Rock Rejuvenation, complete. I'm very happy we're going to get this one done. It's definitely going to be an interesting thing, especially because I actually recently did this mission when I was playing in one of my other files, so it'll be nice to get this mission done on this farm. Yeah, I definitely want to see a bit more action with some of my other farms these days, just to kind of prepare for what we are going to be doing in winter. And I actually do have some farms that are still in winter, so we can get those taken care of relatively soonish. Be nice just to prepare for how things are going to be as we move forward in the game. What is this? Just some clay. Okay. See, I'm kind of expecting the commentary in this session to be a little lax, considering that a lot of the subjects that we have to talk are going to be pretty much just repeats of what we've already said based on just how things have been lately. Okay. Want to look into this. Yeah, we're gonna need another pale ale for one of our we just need to have a pale ale to fill up the collection. So let's go ahead and put another hop in there, and the rest of this can go in here. Definitely want to invest in a couple more kegs, as these are definitely going to make us a lot of money going forward. This will be very, very lucrative to us. Let's check out our animals right now. You see a little duck, Moss. It's still a baby, but once she's fully grown, we are definitely going to reap some good benefits from having her on the farm. Definitely want to invest in some more mayonnaise machines since we're having free egg layers on the farm now. And let's check in with our cattle to get some nice milk from them. Where are you, Cream? There you are. I'm quite happy with the pens that I have set up for our birds and our cattle. It's definitely going to make things pretty good in terms of just their living space. For the remaining things I want, so we have all the wood we need for our next project. One of the main things I'm going to want to get coming up is I want to get this barn upgraded, so we're gonna need a lot more stone. So need 12,000 G, 450 pieces of wood, and 200 stone to get this building upgrade. So, yeah, it's gonna cost a lot of resources. But we can head down into the mine to grab all the stone we need. Kind of thinking of some other methods for getting stone, and considering the places available to us, there aren't really a whole lot of good places other than the mine. But that's okay. So what I want to do first is stop by Emily's. We should be able to enter her room whenever, so we can deliver these gems to her. Which will definitely be worth it. You can see here, she still has her parrot, just a permanent resident in her room now. And for that, we completed Rock Rejuvenation, getting us 1,000 gold. Oh yeah, we gotta give a pumpkin to Caroline. That's another mission we need to do. So yeah, that will be very important. Alright, we got this emerald and some geodes to process. Let's go take care of that. Again, this is going to be pretty much a pretty lax stream session as we're trying to get this barn upgrade, and it's really not a whole lot we're going to be doing for the rest of this season. There's no big harvest we need to make. And out of some of the other things to do around town, the only real thing that's going to be happening is one more holiday, which we'll be able to take care of. Very nice. The Fisherman, Act 2. Gordy, tell me your best fisherman story. I caught a lot of big fish in my time, and some that are very rare and difficult, but there was one that I struggled to catch for 3 days and 3 nights. I called this fish the Legend. He was a huge beast, and the harder I tugged on the line, the harder he tugged back. I let my guard down for a moment, he snapped my boat in two. I've never fished since. You think anyone will ever catch him? If this person were a master at fishing and caught all of the rare fish first, and made sure they ate the correct kind of food, then maybe. Above all, you gotta have respect for the water, son. Son? Do you mean your father? Yes, my boy. Dramatic music as the curtains fall. It just seems like a random thing there, but it actually does tie into some things we are going to see over the course of this adventure, which is some stuff going over some very rare fish. Okay, there are no other books we need to read around here. There's still some missing books in this area. Definitely try to find a couple more of those. You can easily just dig them up around town whenever you see, like, little twigs. But anyway, let's get these geodes processed. A frozen tear. That'd make a good gift for Sebastian. And we got Aeronite. Alright, something new we can donate to Gunfer. It's actually really good we found another one of those. We're definitely going to need to fill up our collection here. So funny enough, in one of my other farms, I only need one more mineral in order to complete that section of the collection. So it'd definitely be nice to look around for some of the others. But yeah, it's still a pretty decent process in order to get all that. So we got Robin's birthday coming up, and Willie's craving anchovy. Yeah, we can get that taken care of. This pumpkin mission we can do whenever because Caroline is just easily available. But we got a mission from Willie and we definitely gotta take that. So I haven't been down to the beach in a while. Yep, I can see we already managed to catch a few things in our crab pots. So let's fill those back up. Alright, so let's go catch us some anchovies. This should be a pretty easy mission, all things considered. Depending on the availability of these things. There we go. We got one. So let's go talk with Willy, our old friend. He's not here. Okay, if Willy's not here, then he tends to be fishing in a few other spots. So we can go check around town, we can check in the forest, and we should be able to find him. So I'm not exactly an expert on the schedules of the various villagers, so it's definitely a learning progress, especially with me playing a lot of this game and trying to get a lot more acquainted with the schedules. It is kind of nice how every villager in the game has their own set schedule that they follow. Definitely helps keep things diverse here. There you are, Willy. Here's your fishy. I don't know about you, but I've never personally had anchovies. I know, like, the common consensus is that they're gross and they just taste terrible, but I don't know. I figured it'd be like an acquired taste sort of thing. As for me, just haven't really had the opportunity to dine on some anchovies. Maybe someday I'll try them, I don't know. Yeah, we also had our sturgeon moved in there, so hopefully in time we'll get to see the benefits of having the sturgeon on the farm very soon. It's gonna take a while, though, because these guys definitely take a lot of effort in order to raise. And we're definitely gonna need to care for them if we're gonna start getting some sturgeon roe, which will lead to definitely one of the more important things that we'll be acquiring. And I'm quite excited that we are coming to the... Oh, things are busy here. Gus, I have just the thing for you. I'm all ears. It's a bundle of locally sourced organic heirloom veggies. These are hand-picked and sorted to ensure only the very finest in quality and taste. This is a once-in-a-lifetime kind of offer. That sounds pretty good. I could use some quality veggies for the saloon. How much does it cost? Only... What was that? For a moment there, I thought I heard 25,000 G. That's right, it really is a bargain, isn't it? Pierre, are you crazy? There's no way I could afford that. I'd have to sell the saloon. I overheard the price. That's outrageous. You should be ashamed. Wait, how about 10,000 G then? No way. It's a disaster, Hayden. I thought this was a surefire business strategy. But it turns out no one's willing to buy vegetables at a 10 times price markup, even if I put the little organic sticker on them. You win some, you lose some. You're right. You can't run a business without taking some risk. By the way, Hayden, you look like you could really use a veggie dinner tonight. What do you say? Want to buy these back for the low price of 2,500 1G? I went to all the trouble of getting you all those high-quality vegetables, and you pulled this on me? Yeah, you can see why Pierre's not exactly a popular character. At least in some regard. Eventually, we're gonna have some things involving this guy that are definitely going to be interesting. But more on that subject later. Is Caroline anywhere around here? We need to find... Kind of a shame, because I really don't know Caroline's I don't really know her. There she is. Just gonna say, I don't really know her schedule because she's not exactly a major character in the game. Oh, the pumpkin! It's a good one. Abigail will be so happy when she sees this. Thanks, Hayden. It's just me, or does Abigail play too many video games? Trust me, I played video games with her in the last stream, so maybe I'm a little old-fashioned. Maybe you are. Yeah, Caroline just kind of fades into the background a lot in this game. Pretty much her only real purpose in the game is to be a mother for Abigail, and yeah, that's kind of about it. Not a whole lot of story significance with her. But you do want to build your relationship up with her because she can give you recipes. So that I can definitely recommend. Alright, with Robin's birthday coming up, I'll definitely want to check what we're going to need to give her. Not exactly familiar with what she likes. There's the birthday girl already. So yeah, we'll definitely want to check that. And speaking of things I want to check on... Okay, Sebastian's not here. I can think of a few areas where Sebastian tends to hang out. So we go try to find him and deliver this frozen tear. I know I should probably be focusing on going into the mine and getting some more stone for this project. But we can spare some time. Ooh, I was just talking about the library a while ago. So it's nice that we're able to find that. So I think Sebastian can also hang out at the train tracks. So we'll check up here for him. No, he doesn't appear to be here. So I know he tends to hang out in this area. So I guess we can try to search the beach. I know that's one of his usual hangout spots. Hey, Maru. Is definitely an interesting thing to keep in mind with all the characters and their schedules. Not exactly the best at remembering where every villager tends to go throughout the day, especially because they change things up depending on the season, or when they have certain appointments and stuff. Willie, you're kind of in the way, bud. Willie? Okay, no, Sebastian tends to hang around here sometimes. It's not 100%, no. I'd be a fool not to take advantage of that bubbling water over there. Be nice to catch a few things before the end of this day. We're really not catching a lot of good stuff here. At least we're getting a lot of seaweed for Maki rolls. Considering the current amount of money, I definitely want to donate some money to the community center, as one of the things we're going to need to do is unlock the things we get from the vault. And with all the money we've been making from the stuff going on the last couple of days, it could definitely be a good investment. Especially because we're definitely going to need to finish up the vault, as that will unlock some very good stuff for us. We're going to have access to a lot of stuff once we complete the vault. It's definitely something I recommend upgrading once you get probably around fall, because that's the most lucrative season in the game for making money. That's about what I would recommend. I must say, I am pretty happy that things are a lot more stable today than they were the last couple of days. It was so disappointing that I had to axe a session just because of how badly things got. And especially with this game's auto-saving, I definitely need to be careful about that. since the game auto-saves at the end of a day. Okay, I think around 10 we will give up fishing, and then we could go make the donation to the vault. So in terms of some other stuff that's been going on, yesterday, after my stream, I was actually watching some people play Mario Party Superstars for charity, and it was definitely very fun to see. Definitely a lot of people involved, and they seem to be having a really good time with the games, and it's nice to see people using video games as a way to facilitate a good cause and raise money for a lot of different things. Definitely appreciate it. Definitely shows how great this medium can be for bringing people together and uniting them under a common cause. I definitely really appreciate it. Okay, before we head back to the farm, we have a donation to make. Because with our current plans, we have more than enough money to be able to afford this donation, as well as the upgrade we're going to be making for the barn. So this will be a good thing to do. So we're going to give the 10,000 G bundle, which gives us a lightning rod. So for the last one, we're going to need 25,000 G. Definitely a lot of money, but it will definitely be worth it, because I remember that the thing we get at the end of the vault is a really good reward. You'll definitely want to go for it. But yeah, we should have that section of the community center finished very soon. So yeah, we go ahead and sell all these. I really don't think we're going to need most of these for anything. Alright, lightning rod can go somewhere. Guess we can put it there for now. Not expecting too many thunderstorms for the rest of the year, but it could be helpful. And then we got this to take care of. It's very nice having that farm computer. Definitely a very useful tool to have. Alright, we're already done with the first day of this session. It's definitely a very busy one. Now we're moving on to day 21. See, gonna be a beautiful sunny day. Let's check in with Queen of Sauce. Glazed yams. It's yam season. What better way to enjoy these delightful tubers than by slathering them in a sweet, sticky glaze? You'll need a nice ripe yam and a whole bunch of sugar. Now here's how you do it. Alright, glazed yams. Definitely an easy recipe to make in this season. All you need is yams, which can be grown in fall, and sugar, which can be bought at Pierre's. It's a very simple recipe to make. So definitely going to need another yam for one of the recipes we can get in the near future, I want to say. Yeah, that is also something we'll want to watch out for. I mean, just look at all this stuff. Definitely want to get our inventory and storage a lot more organized very soon. Hi, Hayden. Thanks again for the wonderful gemstones. These will be perfect for my energy realignment work. I want to thank you with a special gift. Hope you create some wonderful items with it. So by doing that mission for Emily, we get a sewing machine of our very own. Used to tailor clothes from the convenience of your home. We might see some use of this in the future. At the moment, it's kind of hard to use this unless we have a good source of cloth, but later on, this will be very helpful. Dear Hayden, I guess people didn't take to Pierre's Prime Produce like I hoped. Anyway, here's my old mini shipping bin. The next time you get your hands on produce worthy of the Pierre's Prime Luxury brand, maybe you can have had them shipped my way. Pierre. So got a mini shipping bin. So as you can expect, this is pretty much the same as our shipping bin over here, except we can put it anywhere on the farm. So yeah, that is definitely a nice little thing to invest in. Let's put our sewing machine over there. And this bin we can put over this way. Just a nice place to situate it for the time being. It's got another fairy rose, which is very good. Definitely want to harvest our roses at some point because we are pretty close to the end of this season. And once we reach the end, we will want to pick all of our flowers in order to make sure they don't go to waste. So we definitely want them for the bin. Looks like we got a good harvest on eggplants here. And then we also have some wheat. So let's grab our scythe, and we can harvest them. We also got a bit of hay from that. It's definitely good because once we get the keg ready for us, we'll definitely want to put some wheat in there. Yeah, definitely want to try to... Well, let's get all of this out. We're not going to need that for anything here. I believe we've already shipped mead. Yeah. So as you would expect, mead definitely maximizes the value of any honey you put in there, which is always good. So these weapons can go in there, along with our other thing. Yeah, we're definitely going to need to get things a bit more organized. Probably after we get the barn upgraded, I would like to start trying to fix up our inventory and just make it a bit more organized. This is such a mess. Let's put some more eggplant in there for later. We'll definitely want to work on that. I got some more wheat we can donate. And don't think we need hay to be shipped at all. So I'm looking through here, and yeah, it doesn't seem like hay nets you anything. Especially because of how plentiful it is. Oh, so when you see an exclamation mark there, it means that the fish want you to bring something to the pond. And of course, the sturgeon are very, very... They have very expensive tastes. So in order to cater to this thing's taste, we're going to need to give it a diamond. That is going to be something. Luckily, I think we do have a diamond in storage, so we should be able to get that for our little sturgeon. Let's see, do we have a diamond? Yes, we have one. Alright. So this is definitely going to be a good thing. Thank you, this diamond will keep us healthy. So by giving the fish the gift that they want, that increases the population. So from here on out, we'll be able to see some more fish being spawned along, well, pretty much exactly like how we saw with the catfish we had in there before. Only at that time we didn't actually need to do anything with them in terms of the So we never really needed to give the catfish anything. We pretty much just bred them so that we could eventually sell them off. I can see here that we have another mahogany tree grown. Let's go chop this baby down. It'll get us some nice hardwood for later. Oh, and it looks like our apple tree is now fully grown. So this is the benefit from growing those saplings that are obtained from our buddy from Pierre's shop. So for those trees you plant, when they are in the correct season, those trees will start to give fruit to you. And as expect, these fruit are good for a lot of things going forward. One thing, we can put these in the artisan bundle now that we have these. So it's definitely a good investment to make. Let's plant another one of these here. Alright, all of our plants are watered, and we don't really need to plant anything for any more harvests. That's good. Okay, so let's go take the apple to the community center for that. So you highly recommend planting the apple and the pomegranate seeds, plant their trees before this season starts, because you'll want to make sure you have plenty of apples and pomegranates for some of the missions in the community center. Those two are explicitly the ones that you'll definitely want to grow. So be sure to take care of those before anything else. Okay, we don't really have any other missions, so... Oh, I just remembered. We have a birthday today. So allow me just to check what we need to give. Okay, Robin's favorite items are definitely something. She likes peaches, which we can't grow this season at all. The other thing she likes spaghetti, which we don't have the recipe for that, unfortunately. I think we need to build our relationship up with somebody in order to get the spaghetti recipe. And the last thing she likes is goat cheese, which we can't get because the barn isn't upgraded. So I'm thinking we might want to give her just a regular cooked item. Definitely a lot of things that could be good here. I don't think she has any particular thing she hates. The various things we give her. The chocolate cake is usually a item that you'll definitely want to give to people, just because it's a chocolate cake. Who doesn't like that? So I think that would make a good gift for Robin. So we'll give that to her. Then we have this apple for the community center. And while we're here in town, I would like to also do is check on Emily, because we gave her those stones, and see how her rock rejuvenation is doing. Great! Everyone has their stone. Now, close your eyes and take slow, deep breaths. Focus on your lungs. Visualize the pure energy flowing into your body with every breath. And when you exhale, feel all the tension and negative energy flowing out, leaving you more and more relaxed with every breath. Now, open your heart to the vibrational frequency of your stone. Do you feel anything? Nope. I do. Relaxed. Well, they seem to be having fun. Looks like the gemstones were put to good use. Yes, indeed. That's just a fun little scene you can see after doing the rock rejuvenation mission. It's gonna be a while before we get another bulletin board mission, so let's go take care of our affairs today. Starting off with the community center. So we're also going to need apples for the bulletin board over there. But for now, we'll put an apple in the artisan bundle. So next thing we're definitely going to put in is a pomegranate. We should be able to get a few of those once the tree is fully grown. Given how much time we have left in this season, we should be able to get the pomegranate sapling fully grown. And then it's only a matter of how many pomegranates and apples we're able to get before the end of fall. Alright, Robin, accept your gift.
You remember my birthday! Thank you, this is great!
I hope Demetrius doesn't blow the house up with those science experiments of his. Not even sure what he's working on. Think it has something to do with plants? Well, she's definitely taking an interest in her husband's work, it seems. It's still going to be a while before we can get this. But I guess something we can show off that we haven't really had time to do is paint. We can actually paint some of the items that some of the buildings on the farm. Sadly, we can't paint the house until it gets a few more upgrades, but we can do some other things around here. So I have an idea on what we're going to do for this, just based on my usual brand that I have. So you can design the building, you can do the roof. And then you can do the trim. Hello, Paradallin. Welcome to the stream. It's kind of in an awkward spot right now where I'm focusing a bit on just coloring. But it's a pretty fun activity, I want to say, just trying to customize the farm a bit. We do a lot of different stuff with the colors, which I do appreciate. Kind of thinking about what I want for these designs here. I don't know, that one's looking kind of weird with the colors. I guess that'd be a fine color we can do. And looks like the coop and the barn can't be colored as well. Yeah, this is a nice thing you can do with some of the buildings on your farm. It's going to take a while before we can see a lot more customization. It's a nice thing you can do. Looking at some of the other stuff, yeah, the next house upgrade is going to be a while. It's not like I'm really going to need the next house upgrade for anything because we're not married. Okay, given how much time we have now, I'm thinking we'll want to head down into the mines and see if we can get some stone for our next project. Alright, first thing I want to take care of, though, is want to get back to the house and collect some food. Because, wow, look at all the plums. Man, this world is just a plum with plums. Eh. But definitely want to store some of those plums for later, as they can be useful for some recipes. Alright, so my usual go-to is sashimi. I'm actually going to grab one roots platter as well. That is a good thing to have when you're going into the mines, especially in the level that I am at. But yeah, welcome to the stream. This is a series I'm doing where I'm trying to get through the first year in Stardew Valley. And once we're done up with that year, we'll take a break from the game and then... Okay, what is my luck in just starting off a session going into the mines and then finding a diamond right off the bat? My god, this game. Alright, before I was rudely interrupted there, we're just trying to get through the first year in Stardew Valley, then we'll take a break from this series and move on to some other stuff before we come back in for the next year. And I feel like this has been just one of the projects I've really been excited about tackling, just because I really love this game. It's been getting so many new updates over the years that add so much new content to it, so I feel like it'd definitely be a good stream series. Alright, buddy, could you just die, please? Yeah, those void spirits are always just so annoying to deal with. Yeah, these levels in the mines, they are definitely very stressful to go through. Enemies here deal so much damage, and with my current pickaxe level, we are not gonna have the easiest time getting through here. Very thankful we had the energy upgrade from the star drop we got in the fair, as that'll definitely help give us a lot of energy for working down here. Well, yeah, that's definitely a very lucky find. I try to keep discussions on some of those things until I actually have the opportunity to be able to experience them on stream, but that's definitely a very good find. Uh-oh, it's misty here. That means we're gonna see some bats coming in. And of course, in this level, the mine has a new variety of bat that will be attacking us. The lava bat. These guys are pretty much a stronger version of the bats that we have seen previously. They can drop some good stuff. Oh wow, emerald right there. So I just remember having so much trouble finding emeralds before that I needed for the rock rejuvenation mission. And then I just casually find a deposit here, along with a few other good gems. It's definitely good because these can help boost our relation with Emily, and the emeralds are good for increasing our relation with Penny. So I definitely want to try to boost our relation with Penny a lot more, especially if I haven't really narrowed down whether I want to marry Penny or later. So a neat thing about that, I was able to find 2 gems from one deposit because of a perk I got, which is the Geologist perk. Makes it so that you can find 2 gems whenever you break open one of those deposits. If we quickly go into our stats here, these are all the buffs that you get whenever you reach level 5 in a skill. So yeah, I tend to go with Geologist just because it is very lucrative for finding gemstones and then using them to just either build relationships up with characters, or if you just want to sell them for money, which is definitely a good use from them. Alright, we had the stairs open there. At least a good opportunity to grab some stone. Ooh, I can see some amethyst up there. It's a good gift for Abigail, and we'll definitely want to boost a relation with her. I still haven't narrowed down which of the bachelors or bachelorettes we're going to marry. I at least know that the ones we aren't are characters that I have married on my previous farms. So we're not going to do Maru, we're not going to do Emily or Shane. But the other ones are fair game. And I'm actually kind of excited to see which ones I end up pulling for this series. So I guess some other stuff we can talk about. Earlier before the stream, I was playing some more Pokemon Legends Arceus, while I was also watching some people play some... they were streaming Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. So it's nice to get a bit more Pokemon action in, especially with the progress I've been making in... some of the progress I've been making in Legends Arceus. Been very good lately. Yesterday I managed to clear up the story missions for the Coronet Highlands, and so we're moving on to definitely some of the late game content now, and it has been a blast at getting through, especially with these areas, which I've definitely been feeling a lot more expansive as we go along. And I'll definitely be excited to check out the Alabaster Snowlands, which is definitely one of the later areas in the game. I've also been doing a lot of good work filling up the Pokédex, which is easily one of the main priorities I had with the game, going through it. So I usually just tend to get sidetracked from the story whenever I am just trying to take some other activities. It's definitely been very fun. Been enjoying filling up the Pokédex, getting to use a lot more Pokemon and stuff. Especially with some of the new Hisuian forms and evolutions I've seen. Which, man, they've all been really good. One of the recent additions to my team, I guess I can say it since it was revealed officially by Nintendo before the game's release, I added Basque Legion to the team, which has definitely been an interesting teammate, especially with the method it took to actually evolve it. It's kind of interesting, definitely plays into trying to use the Pokemon in a lot of unique different playstyles. In this case, you have to focus on using your Pokemon use attacks that cause recoil in order to trigger its evolution, which was a pretty unique evolution method. Definitely pretty interesting, especially with the lore behind this creature. So yeah, I'm very happy that I finally added it to the team. It's definitely going to show a lot of good work as we go through the remainder of the game. Okay, we do not have much time in this day. I would really like to have the stairs appear so that we can get to the... floor 90 would be very nice. We don't have much time here. I'm actually thinking... yeah, we can craft a bomb and see if we can just blow a lot of stone up. So yeah, that covers a lot of area. And even managed to blast the... it even blasts the rock off of the lava crab, which I definitely appreciate. We do not have much time left in this day. Can we please get this thing? Don't think we're able to craft any more bombs. Come on, I need the stairs to appear. If not, we're gonna have to just book it back to the house, because we do not have enough time, and I do not want to... if I do not want to have to faint. Oh, there it is! Floor 90. Our reward for that is Obsidian Age. It's definitely a nice sword. We'll definitely want to check that out, but I really need to get back home. My horse isn't here, but we should still be able to make it. Is anything we can put in here? We'll put in some of these gems and make some good money. Let's grab these right quick. And book it back into the house before the time is up. There we go. Whew! And with that we get level 7 mining, allowing us to transmute gold. So I really haven't gone over the transmutation ability. You're basically turning several pieces of metal into other pieces of metal, which is fairly nice. So with that, we're now able to transmute gold from iron bars. Could definitely be very helpful if you are lacking in gold. It's going to be cloudy with gusts of wind. Alright, let's see what our thing here is. Fish focus, walleye. You can find this fish on rainy evenings during the fall and winter. It can be found in any freshwater location. We've already caught plenty of walleye, so we don't need to worry about that. Okay, yeah, the Obsidian Edge definitely a lot stronger than the bone sword. And has that crit up, which is very nice. Okay, so that's definitely going to be our new sword. Okay. Let's go store all this stuff we've been gathering. I've got a nice gift we can give to Penny. I think we can do that a bit later, just because we only have the one emerald, and it's nice to have spares for later. Oh, that white algae we'll need for one of our recipes, as that will require... Yeah, we need a few of these for later, in order to make the hail broth. We got all these geodes that we can crack open. It's very good. And we got some pickles we can give to... We can give those to Harvey. We already have those in the collection, so don't need to worry about donating that right now. So yeah, we can give those to Harvey as a little gift. Got some jam and some honey. Alright, so the next thing I want to grow in the... Well, the next thing I want to ferment in the keg is going to be our wheat, which we can convert into beer. Alright, so those will definitely go in the thing for now. For later. Just got some corn there, and... Oh boy, we got this at last! So the rare seed that we are able to obtain from the traveling merchant, once it's fully grown in the fall, we get the sweet gemberry. It's by far the sweetest thing you've ever smelled. This is definitely a very good item. It is one of the most... it's one of the highest priced items. We sadly don't have it available on the collection display at the moment, because we actually need to donate it in the bin. But yeah, this thing is pretty much the best thing that can be grown on the farm. It's not actually classified as any sort of fruit or vegetable, which is probably because the game doesn't want you using this in a keg or anything, just because that would be overkill, given this thing's ginormous price. But yeah, the main use of this sweet gemberry is, of course, to sell it for a lot of money. But there's another use for the sweet gemberry that we are definitely going to check out once we have taken care of all of this very soon. Just want to get our affairs done on the farm. Let's see, we got those apples up there. So I'm actually going to wait a little while before we harvest some more fruit from our tree. So our fruit trees are able to grow quite a few numbers of produce over the course of a few days. At max, they can have 3 fruit growing on it at a time. So you'll definitely want to decide for yourself whether you want to pick them right away or save them until they have the max number of fruit and then pick them. As for me, I definitely like to wait a while before we take care of that. And in this case, we need free apples to donate to the community center, so we'll definitely take care of that later. Okay, the sturgeon haven't repopulated, but we'll definitely wait to see if we get a bit more. Hey, girls. I need some more milk. I want to go over resource again because we are pretty... We found a lot of stone the last time we went into the mine, so definitely want to check that out. So we got, yep, 200 stone. We have everything we need to upgrade the barn. So glad we were able to take care of this. Alright, let's get our milk and our eggs in there. I want to sell these guys. And let's put these recipes away. So we definitely see some good use from our things a bit later. That's right. Let's grab a bunch of these so that we can sell them at the one place. Yep, just grab a bunch of this in order to sell for later. Alright. Now that that's taken care of, how about we go see what we're able to do with these new items? Okay, first off, what I need to do is gather the resources we need to upgrade the barn. Yep, all that's taken care of, so we'll go check in with Robin very soon. But a main task right now is I want to show what we're able to get now that we have the sweet gem berry. So we want to take the sweet gem berry over to the forest this way. Because as you may remember, there was a statue in here. Wow, the slimes have really populated. There was a statue in here in the forest that was asking us to bring it as something that tasted really sweet. And that is what the sweet gem berry is for. We were growing it all this time in order to give it to the statue. And the reward we get from it is definitely going to be worth it. Old Master Cannoli, still searching for the sweetest taste. Let's give him the berry. His eyes are glowing red and all spooky. And by examining him after that, we get a star drop, boosting our max energy. You found a star drop. Your mind is filled with thoughts of magic. Your maximum energy level has increased. So yep, we took care of Cannoli's request, and now we have a very, very nice upgrade. It's got 338 energy. That is a very nice upgrade and will definitely help us out as we delve further and further into the stuff we're able to do in this game. It's definitely a lot more we're going to be doing. Okay. I can see Jazz playing there. What I want to take care of now, I want to head back into town and see if our good friend... we'll actually visit Harvey a bit later, because I want to take care of these magma geodes. Found a lot of them down in the mines. Very grateful for that. Because it should get us a couple... Oh, we have a big mission on the bulletin board. So calling all amateur paleontologists. I need 100 pieces of bone for my studies. Please drop them off at the museum counter. Or from Robin, I'm putting on a little promotion just for fun. If anyone collects 1,000 pieces of stone in a week, they'll earn a reward. And you can keep the stone. These are going to be some interesting missions. I guess we can take Robin's mission. Since we need to gather stone anyway for some of our future projects, we'll take care of that. So yeah, we'll definitely be spending a lot of time in the mines these days, especially in the next season, so we might as well do this mission. We only have a bit of time left in the season anyway. Alright, so we got some Bixite there, and some Helvite, some Obsidian, another piece of Helvite, some Iron Ore, some Stone, some Fire Quartz, some more Stone, I hope this goes to the thing, and some Gold. Okay, so these were some nice things we were able to get. from that. It's also nice that the stone we got actually goes into the thing that we need for later. Alright, let's donate these new materials to the museum. Got a new reward from that. That's very good. We'll check what we have obtained now. It's got an obsidian vase and a bear statue. Very nice. We got some new decorations for the house. We'll definitely want to invest in those. Technology report. The blueprints for an advanced piece of machinery called a crystallarium have recently been published. This machine can grow crystals from almost nothing, providing their owners with endless supplies of valuable gems. Here's how it works. Place a gem of your choice inside the crystallarium. Now be patient, it can take up to several days, but eventually the crystallarium will grow a copy of whatever you place inside. You'll know it's ready when it stops wiggling. Once you remove your gem, the crystallarium will start working on yet another clone. You'll never need to restock it unless you want to change the kind of gem it produces. Unfortunately, the crystallarium doesn't work with the extremely rare gemstone known as prismatic shard. For some reason, the EMF from the shard interacts negatively with the crystallarium. So we finally got a name drop for something that will definitely be a discussion topic for a later date. But just know that the prismatic shard is one of the rarest resources in the game. And we're definitely going to need to try to get it. Multiple times. Ooh boy. Alright, so got a mission here. Sebastian wants a bok choy. I guess we can accept that. I don't know if we're going to actually be able to do that mission for him. Unless we have some bok choy at the farm, which I don't know if we have. Alright, for now, what I want to do is head up to the shop here. And from Robin, I want to construct the big barn. Houses 8 barn-dwelling animals, allows animals to give birth, and unlocks goats. Costs a lot of resources and a lot of money, but it is definitely worth it. Okay, I'll start working on your barn upgrade first thing tomorrow morning. Thank you, Robin. Very much appreciated. Okay, so with those missions, I see Sebastian over there. If I want to check in on him, so we'll definitely be heading back to the farm to see if we got enough resources for this thing to take care of. Alright, but from you, I want to sell all of the stuff that we don't need. Get some good money back. Okay, there's nothing new we got from there. Alright, it was definitely very costly in terms of our resources, but it's definitely a good investment, as we will see very, very soon just how good it is to have this barn upgraded. And we still need to upgrade it even further, but we will focus on that a little later on in the game. Alright, so put you away. Let's grab these. Put that there. Oh yeah, we're gonna need stone for our mission, so let's mark this for that. Okay, so we have collected 8 stone here, so go ahead and put that in. Yeah, unfortunately it doesn't count stone that we have already acquired, so we're gonna have to try to get as much as we can from some of our other sources. Let's sell the fire quartz, then we'll sell that. The crayfish we can store, or make that into sashimi, actually. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. And let's set up these new things here. It's definitely looking very nice, complementing the house a bit more. Okay, so we need bok choy for this request from Sebastian. So go take care of that now. I'm thinking maybe we don't need bok choy for some of our... for some things ahead. Just know that would probably be a good idea just to buy some spare seeds. Alright, while we're at it, let's also bring a frozen tear with us. Because that would also be a good gift to bring to Sebastian. And before we do any of that, I want to head back here. And I want to grab the rest of our sashimi. Because we need some food as we go into the mine. This part I could see... I could recommend going to the earlier levels because our pickaxe is easily able to handle a lot of the things we're able to break down there, which I could recommend. Does Sebastian tend to hang out here? I know I saw him around this area earlier. Sebastian, where are you? I kind of have a mission to do. Oh boy, this kid better not have gotten my hopes up and is just going to isolate himself where I can't follow. Hey, Robin. She'll be getting to work on the barn very soon, which I'm definitely going to appreciate. Okay, he's not in there. God, there's a few places Sebastian could be. I was all geared up to go into the mine, and then he just completely blindsided us with this request. Are you over here, man? Sebastian! Man. I know I say this all the time, but God, Sebastian just always gives me trouble whenever I want to give him gifts. He just isolates himself somewhere I cannot follow, and just annoys me so much. And he is still in the running for a character I could end up marrying, which makes it even more aggravating. So where is this guy? Oh, there he is. He's in his room now. And we get to see his level 2 cutscene. Oh, hey, give me 1 sec. Okay, I'll stay put. Okay, sorry about that. I just needed to finish what I was working on. So what are you working on there, buddy? I do freelance work as a programmer. That was an instant message from Sam. I guess he wants to hang out. Ugh, don't really feel like going out today.
Oh, hi, Hayden. Sebby, I know you don't like it when I come in here, but I ran into Abigail at the store, and she said she was looking for you.
Did you tell her I'm working?
I did, but she said she'd probably stop by anyway.
No one takes my job seriously. No one ever bothers Maru when she's working at the clinic. Does everyone think I'm just surfing the web all day? So what are your career goals, buddy? Well, I'm trying to save up so I can move out of here. Probably to the city or something. You know, if I'd gone to college, I'd probably be making 6 figures right now. But I just don't want to be part of that corporate rat race, you know? Well, and I guess I just feel more comfortable hidden behind the computer than dealing with people face to face. Well, I should get back to work. I need to get this module finished by tomorrow.
So we get some insight into what Sebastian has been doing all this time.
tried to get into programming myself when I was in high school. Didn't really have a knack for it. Got that for the mission, and that's because I like it, dude. Okay, now that we've actually taken care of that, how about we go into the mine and try to collect some stone? This is gonna be quite the mission we have to take care of. Just to get this mission done a lot quicker. Yeah, how about we just head down to the lower levels? Be able to harvest a lot of stone much easier this way. So we don't have to worry too much about just enemies getting in our way. Yeah, this is probably what most of this mission is going to eventually boil down to, just us gathering up stone. But you know, I definitely like getting to explore the higher levels again, just to see how much things have changed since then. And by this point, we're able to breeze through here much more easily, thanks to our upgraded pickaxe and our stronger weapons that'll just make mincemeat out of the enemies we encounter. Like that rock crab. Take that. And since we have a lot of energy too, it'll also make getting through here much easier. So I can actually see this mission not taking a whole lot of our time. We do have to collect 1,000 pieces of stone, but as long as we encounter those big boulders as we're going through here, we should have a pretty easy time getting this done. Still going to take a lot of work. But hey, we're still waiting for the barn to be finished, so definitely something that can be a good use of our time as we are just trying to get that taken care of. And then we'll be able to go over the benefits of the big barn. And yeah, that'll be very good to do. Take that, buddy. But yeah, a lot of stone that can be mined. Yeah, I actually do recommend going to the lower levels, because we already have 100 pieces of stone. And we don't have to worry about constantly being interrupted by high-level monsters. So yeah, this was definitely a good idea. So anytime you need lots of stone, I can definitely recommend going back to the lower levels once you have a stronger pickaxe, and you can just easily breeze through this mission. So try to gather as much stone as we can before our time is up. Again, we'll probably go to bed around 12, just to make sure we've had enough time to gather stone this day. But yeah, we are definitely breezing through this right now. We already almost have 150 stone. That's very good. Alright, let's head back up and get back to the farm. And I gotta say, after how things have been in the previous stream sessions, I am very thankful things have been much more stable this time. Sometimes I get pretty worried with how things usually go during these sessions, but it's definitely a nice change of pace. Let's get all this stored for later. We got some geodes we can crack open. Also a good way to make some Yeah, cracking open the geodes also a good way to acquire stone for this mission. Alright, so now we got level 8 foraging. And now we can make warp totems for the farm. So that could definitely be nice. So definitely made some good money on our crops today. Definitely appreciate that. I was kind of worried I'd have to make this a brief stream session, but we are definitely making a lot of good progress. So I'm thinking for the rest of this session, probably going to do at least to day 24, because we have some things to take care of in the next couple of days, and I would like to make sure that we are best prepared for some of the things we're going to be doing. It's probably going to be one of the last of the ancient fruit harvests we're going to get in this season, because we don't have a whole lot of time left of that, and sadly, one of those plants is going to have to go once we get into the next season. Kind of sad, but that's just the way things are in this game. Alright, we got another artichoke. Let's definitely sell that. I'm still quite shocked that we're able to get artichokes in the first year from the mixed seeds, because that's normally something you're not supposed to get until frickin' year 2. Still very impressed with this game sometimes. Alright, these should be very close to being done. So got those apples that are still being developed. Ooh, these cranberries will definitely want to make that into some... Can make that into some preserves. We still have that beer being developed. So yeah, we will sell the rest of these. Just drop the rest in, so make some good money off that. And back to the farm to check on the animals. These guys seem to be doing well. Should only be a few more days until our duck is fully grown, which I'll definitely be excited for. At this point, I could definitely invest in some more machines. So this time, we got... Yeah, we should have the resources for that. So you girls gonna be excited? You're gonna have a much bigger house soon. So you check in here. You can see that Robin is hard at work, just hammering away, getting the place all spruced up. I'm definitely going to be very excited to see the upgraded barn. We're going to be able to have access to so much new stuff. So yeah, getting the farm buildings upgraded, definitely one of your high priorities before the end of this season. As very soon it's going to be harder to acquire money from produce, so you'll definitely want to rely on your animals to make your income. Oh, there we go. The beer is ready. As you would expect, this will intoxicate you, so do not ingest unless you're really prepared for it. Let's put the beer in there. And then... what do we want to put in there next? So I think we... Actually, we haven't done juice. Okay, so I think we could put a vegetable in there and see what we can make with that. Do we have any spare veggies in the fridge? Yeah, we got quite a few. Alright, so let's make some corn juice. I know it sounds kind of weird, but trust me, it'll be a good investment. Alright, that's all the other missions we need to take care of. So, let's head to town and we'll get these geodes processed, get this pomegranate delivered to the community center, and then it's back into the mine to gather some more stone. It's definitely liking how these missions just push you towards one goal during these months. Definitely a good use of our time, and that's some really good rewards. So I'm very glad this was added in the later updates. Hey there, Clint. Got some stuff for you to break open. It's got some coal. Some more stone, which I very much appreciate. It's got some iron there. A petrified slime. A jamborite. And some Celestine. Alright, so we got a new thing to donate to the museum. Hey there, Gunfer. It's time to make some donations. Okay, that's all we can do. That's fine. There's no new books for us to read. So I'm gonna have to wait on that. Alright, so let's take this pomegranate down to the community center. I'm still kind of thinking about some stuff I want to talk about. We really don't have too many things to discuss, given the short gap between stream sessions. But now that we donated that fruit, we have completed the Artisan Bundle, which gives us another keg for the farm. I definitely appreciate that. And we should be able to finish up the Animal Bundle very soon. So we'll be finishing up the pantry in a bit. The remaining bundles we need to do, there's the pantry, there's the crafts room, which we're going to have to wait a little while to finish. The fish tank, which we need to complete the vault in order to do that, which requires more money. And then for the bulletin board, we need some things that we currently do not have access to. Besides the apples, and the pomegranate, and another thing. So there's a few things that we are able to do in this season, and a few things that need to be finished up later. It's very nice that we have access to these right now. I definitely appreciate having the spare keg. That will be very useful going forward. For now, let's head back into the mine and see if we can gather some more stone for this mission. So probably going to limit most of my commentary at this point because I really don't have a whole lot to talk about as we're going down here. Just more of the usual mining shenanigans. But I guess for some things we can discuss. Yeah, really hasn't been a whole lot else going on in between the stream sessions, given that the last one was just yesterday. I guess I could say that we are going to be heading back to work tomorrow. So I was taking a 3-day break over the course of the last 3 days. It'd be nice to be getting back into work, and we actually have our next day off coming up really soon. So we can try to get another stream in and hopefully finish up the rest of fall before the end of next week. I'm definitely really excited for that. This season has been a blast to do, and so we're definitely going to be seeing the rest of it. Definitely be very exciting to show off the end of this season and then the stuff we are going to be doing in the next one. Because there's definitely going to be a lot of stuff to talk about as we go into the final days of that season. There's another crab. It's a little drab little crab. That kind of actually made me remember some things I kind of wanted to talk about before but didn't have the time for. So a lot of movies that have been coming out recently or going to be coming out recently that I'm kind of excited for, but with the way things have been in the world, well, these days, I haven't really found much motivation to actually go and see them, which a little disappointing, but, you know, it's just kind of the world we have to live in right now. But there are some things that have definitely piqued my interest in terms of different films and stuff lately. So definitely one thing I could say is I could share a little bit on Encanto, which was a movie that came out very recently. A lot of people love this movie. I still haven't seen it, but I feel like I would definitely enjoy it, given what a lot of people have said about it. But yeah, it's just something I haven't really had the time to really put effort into seeing, but definitely something I'd have a lot of fun watching as a typical Disney movie. But it definitely has a lot of charm to it and a lot of good songs from I've heard. I mean, I could swear I have listened to We Don't Talk About Bruno so many times and I haven't even watched this movie. But it's definitely fun for building up the hype for when I actually do see the movie, you know? Just finding some good songs that you like to listen to and then being excited for when you actually get to see the movie and have the context for them. Some other stuff from Disney I'm kind of excited about. On the Pixar side, very soon we got Turning Red. It's definitely a movie I think I am going to love. It's involving this girl who, when she is under very emotional stress and whatnot, she turns into a giant red panda. And yeah, that's just such a fun concept. With a transformation based on your mood. So I definitely think that is a very good idea for a... Ooh, we got a topaz on that. Definitely a fun idea for a movie. So kind of an interesting thought, just kind of based on Turning Red. I don't know, just from the concept of the movie of a child turning into something else under certain circumstances, it actually got me thinking about this one show that I used to watch when I was a kid. So up here in Canada, we tend to get a lot of different shows compared to what is shown in America. So there's obviously some things that I've seen that I feel like a lot of people in the mainstream haven't heard about or haven't really been exposed to. So just a lot of my thoughts involving the hype for Turning Red has actually got me thinking of this one show I watched when I was a kid called Monster by Mistake. About a show about a kid who gets magically turned into a monster so that whenever he sneezes, he switches back and forth between his human form and his monster form. And a good chunk of the show is about him and his sister trying to find out how to reverse the curse while also trying to prevent this evil monster from obtaining this magic jewel that they have acquired. And their sidekick for the show is this talking, jazz-playing ghost who lives in their house. And I don't know, just a pretty bizarre show, all things considered. One thing I could definitely say about it, this show has not aged well in terms of visuals. So I believe this show actually started in the late 90s, and it wrapped up in the early 2000s. So obviously the 3D animation is definitely not held up over time. But I don't know, there's just something that I found charming about the whole thing, especially with these siblings trying to would deal with this problem and a lot of the different situations that arise from this one kid turning into a monster every time he sneezes. So I did quite like it a lot, and I've actually been thinking about this show a lot in a lot of recent time, especially because I've been thinking about what if this show got rebooted and they had a brand new show with modern animation style, a lot of new different storylines they could do for it that I think would be interesting. So I feel like in a lot of ways they could improve this show, and definitely make it a lot more enjoyable for a modern audience. I know, it's just kind of a random thought I feel at times, especially in regards to things that I particularly cherish, as they used to be something that gave me a lot of joy. And I would like other generations to get to experience this, but even better than what I went through. Like, we definitely saw that with a lot of shows in recent years. Like with the 2017 reboot of DuckTales. And just how that show really brought a lot of the Disney afternoon back to a new generation. Kind of think of some other shows that also did some good reboots. I really don't know what else I could really say. There was one I was thinking of. But I don't know, it's just an interesting thing where I'm thinking about what if this show actually got a continuation or reboot, and what new things could be improved by it. So I feel it'll definitely be a fun little topic that could be discussed in a lot of different areas. But yeah, I don't know why I've just been fixated on Monster by Mistake of all things these days. I don't know, just as one thing I really enjoyed when I was younger. Wow, we got a lot of topaz from that. It's definitely going to be good to sell for some good money. We need to make for some of our projects. It's definitely one of the things I want to focus on is getting the next vault upgrade, which is going to require a lot of money, a lot more than what we currently have. But it'll be nice to focus on that in a bit. Now, would you go away, sir? Ooh, we found some more white algae. We do need that for one of the recipes we need to make, the pale broth, so I definitely appreciate that. Oh wow, we got so much stone right now. I definitely made the right call by heading down to the lower levels, because we have been finding stone like it's nobody's business. Ooh, there's a big rock there. We'll definitely want to break that open. Okay. It's about the end of this day. We definitely acquired a lot of stone, so we're definitely getting up there in terms of completing this mission. We are already almost halfway done. That is crazy to think about. But yeah, given the amount of days we currently have left in this season, we have... Yeah, we have 5 more days in this season, so I think now would be a good time just to call things for this session, and we'll be able to get in a lot more content as we head into the next one. Especially because I feel like we're going to have a pretty easy time taking care of a few things. If I want to put the mixed seed in there, around this time, I would recommend not playing the mixed seed, as we do not have a lot of time in order to take care of our other missions. What I do recommend is taking our spare keg and putting it down. And since we have that up, how about we take a blackberry, and we'll put that in the keg in order to make one of the other things we need. Which, as I said before, is wine. Definitely be useful for some things to make. Alright, so now we need to take that white algae we were collecting, and we'll make that in a pale broth. That is definitely a pretty simple cooking recipe, but one I could definitely recommend if you do a lot of fishing. Because you can usually end up with a lot of white algae, either from fishing in certain areas or by killing certain enemies in the mine. And that's definitely a good use for all that stuff, because normally I would not recommend holding on to the white algae. It's not that good of a resource to have. So I guess we can store that crab for later. We still have a few recipes coming up that will require crab, so it'll definitely be useful for later. So thinking about some of the other recipes we got in this session, there's the cheese cauliflower, which we got. I don't think we can make that now. Yeah, because we don't have cauliflower. And we're not going to be able to grow cauliflower until the next season. I'm probably going to head to bed now just because it's already very late. Level 7 combat. We're now able to make a ring of Yoba and a Thorns ring. So we'll definitely talk a bit about that, just as we are ending things off in this session, just to kind of go over those recipes before we finally call things here. Alright, so those recipes. Thorns ring requires bone fragments. You'll want to kill a lot of skeletons in the mines. When enemies damage you, they will take damage themselves. So yeah, that's definitely good to have. Ooh, it's a good thing I decided to call things right now because things starting to go to crap in terms of frame rate right now. Glowstone ring as we... Well, no, that's the other thing we had before. Ring of Yoba, I want to say. Occasionally shields the wearer from damage. Requires gold, iron, and diamond in order to make. But could definitely see some use from that. Okay, just want to quickly go over some of the recipes we still need to make. Fried calamari. We're not going to be able to make just yet because that requires squid, and we can't get that this season. Dish of the sea. It's going to require sardines, which I know we do not have yet. So, yep, so want to focus on that in a little bit. Still the seafoam pudding, which requires squid ink. We are actually very close to being able to do that, since we'll be encountering an enemy very soon that can drop squid ink, so we'll definitely want to take care of that. Coleslaw we can't get until we get cabbage, and that's going to take a while. But yeah, I feel like that is a good point to end things off here. We still got quite a few days left of this season before we jump into winter. So, thank you for joining me on this stream today. This has definitely been a very exciting one. Ooh, we definitely have some things to talk about very soon with our new friends and some of the other stuff we'll be doing. So next time in Stardew Valley, we'll be seeing what else we're able to acquire as we end off the season of fall, get to experience another fantastic holiday, and see some new residents coming into our new and improved barn. Until next time, have a good day, and take care.